to all learners in Edu online classes. Today topic which we are discuss, that is CSS Id Selector. It is very important topic. So in this topic we can talk about CSS Id Selector, which reflect in your HTML web page. The ID selector which we select the ID attribute of an HTML element to a specific element. An ID selector is a specific because it contains a unique within the page and its element is unique element. So it is specified by using hash symbol and followed by ID name. So see the example of an ID selector. In the right side of the coding of an IT program and the left side the output of an IT program. So in the HTML section, HTML head style we can specify. Then we directly move to the line number 5, that is the ID selector declaration part, where we can declare by using hash symbol para1, specify in the curly braces the properties and passing its value like text and center are the properties, align and blue are the values of that property. Then closing the style tag, further closing head tag, and start next section of the body part, where we can specify an ID in the paragraph tag and mention para1 here. It is mentioned for the hello student. These are the ID selector contents to specify in a web page. In the output window we can see hello student in different color. That color is blue. And closing the paragraph tag. Next, continuing to again next line with the paragraph tag. This paragraph will not be affected, mention here, and closing paragraph tag. So in the output window you can see there is no change in the paragraph in line 2, and then further closing body and HTML program. So see the changes in the both lines that reflects in your web page. Now continuing to next is the CSS Class Selector. The CSS Class Selector selects HTML elements within a specific class attribute like class ID. It is again used a special symbol, that is full stop or dot symbol or period character followed by the class name. Again we can declare the same thing of ID selector and the class selector. The class selector is used when you want to change a group of elements within your web page. The class name should not contain any number. So further moving to example section, here we can see from the style part where we can declare intro class and specify the properties text and align equals to center, continuing color equals to blue. Blue and center are the values of that property. Next we are closing style and head part. Here we can declaration part of class is finish and start with the body section, where we can call the properties of a class for a element. So now moving further, h1 again it is a heading section. Then class intro, the heading is blue and centrally aligned and closing the head tag. Then paragraph tag, start next line, where the changes are not reflected, the same line will be continue. Then further continuing, closing the body part and the HTML section. So this is an example of CSS class. Now moving to the specific element. We are using a specific element in HTML web pages where it only reflects that specific element and no changes will be for the other section in your web page. Continue with the example. The same example we are continuing because we have to consider the changes in our program by using a same example. So again I'm start with the H1 section because all parts are similar in all above programs. So H1 class intro, we can specify for the intro class, then this heading is not affected. It is, we can specify there is no change in your first line, see the reflection in your output window. Then continue with the next line with the paragraph tag class intro, we can specify here the specific element. This paragraph is blue and centrally aligned, so that changes we can see in the output window bottom part. And then further continuing to the end of the tags body and HTML. So that's all for today. Next section we can see universal selector and group selector. So if again you have any query, you can contact me, text me, mail me. Have a nice day.